All right, XDefiant. So, new game. Been playing this for the last few days. I didn't try it in any of the betas or anything, and I don't even think I installed it the first day or two that it came out, something like that. I think I ended up trying it for the first time on Friday, like this last Friday, and then played a little bit through the weekend. Not that I wasn't like super excited or interested in this game. When it comes to like betas and tech tests and stuff like that, I just these days I just can't be bothered. It's just I'll wait till the game's out. And then even when it came out, just didn't jump on top of it right away. Was figuring out some stuff with the racing and getting prepared for that, for the regular season finale and the grand final and all that stuff. And playing some other games, finishing some stuff up on like Hades 2 and stuff like that. So just didn't want to jump into it right away, and then eventually got into it and tried it out. Went in with an open mind, see how this game was. Initial impression was that it was decent, but there were a few things that I thought needed work. And now that I've played it through the weekend, I like it a bit better than I did initially. However, I do still think a lot of those initial impressions on like stuff that I thought could be a bit better, I think those are still true. But learning a little bit about the rest of the game and how things work and trying out different guns and different classes and stuff like that, I have had a lot more fun with it too than my first couple hours. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna probably ramble about whatever positives and negatives and first impressions on the game in this video. I just got these gameplays, threw them up. This first one, solo dolo, trying out the P90. I think this is my first game with the P90, or maybe my second. Had a lot of fun with it. Thought it was a pretty fun gameplay. And then second game, playing with detail of HRL Megamix regular season championship fame Lamau. I got a game with Clat and Matt that I got to upload probably in the next video as well. I had a pretty cracked. I think it was a hardpoint game that ended up being really close with them. That one was pretty fun. So I have to go back and find that one too. But yeah, those are the two gameplays for this video. Figured I needed two because these Dom games go by pretty quickly. I'm gonna need a little bit to talk about it. But yeah, so gonna talk about pretty much everything with the game, all different thoughts, impressions, and important shit to do with it. So I think the gunplay. We'll go through like positives and stuff like that first. I want to talk about the stuff that I like first, and then we'll get to the negative stuff or the stuff that I think just needs work in the second half. So stuff that I like, gunplay, I think is actually pretty solid for the most part. There's a few things that I do think are a little off. Like, for example, I do think the snipers are a little annoying right now. And the weapon balance for release is actually pretty good for the most part. There are a few weapons that stand out. Honestly, I don't think too many weapons, besides, like, again, maybe the snipers, I don't think too many weapons stand out as being, like, overpowered, like, need nerfs. If anything, I think a lot of them are like pretty usable. Like the SMGs, I think you got the P90, the Vector, the MP7. Those are all very, very good and very usable. I wouldn't nerf any of them. I think they're very good. I would buff the MP5 to be a little bit better because the MP5 is a little weak in my opinion. And then the AR class, I think the M4 is a little weak. But the rest of the ARs, like, there's pretty good debate on what the best gun even is, because like I think a lot of people go for the ACR, but a lot of people also really like the AK. And then I think the M16 in certain scenarios is very good as well. I think the MDR fitting the AR SMG hybrid, I think that works very well at doing what it does. The LMGs are pretty good from what I've seen so far. I'm not too I can't really say too much about the shotguns or the marksman rifles yet. Haven't experimented with those too much yet. But for the weapons that I've used, weapon classes that I've used, I genuinely think the balance is actually really fucking good. Again, aside from the M4 and the MP5, the two starter weapons of the AR and SMG class, I think those could maybe be brought up to the level of the other weapons that you unlock later on in those classes a little bit. Other than that, yeah, gunplay pretty fun. They feel different enough. They feel like they fit their different roles, and I've enjoyed going through the different weapons and trying out different stuff. So yeah, had a lot of fun with the gunplay. I think the movement, I wasn't too sure about it at first. Now I actually kind of like it, but there's still some things that I don't like about it. So the movement I think when you get into a really good groove of like flying around the map, chaining the slides, chaining the jumps, and flying around with the air strafes and stuff like that, I think it can feel really good. But there's also some stuff about the movement that I think is kind of awkward. For one, I think the clambering over objects is or the mantling, if you wanna use that term. I'm so used to saying clambering from fucking Halo 5. It's a little rough. It's a little rough. Like for how smooth and how fast everything else feels, the mantle feels a little jank to me. It's a little slow, and it also just doesn't connect very well. Like there's times where I feel like it's frustrating how I have to like make sure I'm straight against the object as close to it as possible, and then I can mantle it and it'll be like the smallest height ever. So I think that could use a little bit of work. I do think the air strafing is maybe a little too much. I don't think they should remove it entirely, but I do think it's maybe a little too powerful, and it's a little too crazy. And then also the jump spam. I think the jump spam is a little too much as well. I don't think, it should be removed entirely, but some people, I literally will spam jump like 2,000 times in a gunfight, and it's just fucking stupid. It literally just looks stupid. I think those things could use a little bit of work. So again, not perfect, but the base of it is really good and really fun actually. And when you get a handle of it, I think it feels super satisfying. I like it a lot actually. So yeah, gunplay and movement, two very important things in a shooter, and I think they feel pretty good in this game, but still with some things to work on as well. I think the foundation of this game is essentially like Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. I think this game shares a lot of its identity with those two CODs. So if you liked those games, which Black Ops 3 was like fine. I really enjoyed Black Ops 4. If you really liked both or one of those two games, I would say give this a shot, and I'd say you probably will really enjoy it. Because yeah, like just the baseline of this game, like the foundation of this game, feels like it was heavily inspired by those two CODs in particular. And again, like I said, I'm a big Black Ops 4 fan. I thought Black Ops 4 was a fuck ton of fun for public matches and for ranked even too. And having a game to play like this in 2024, like Black Ops 4, it has been a lot of fun. And having that type of gameplay experience again, with the no SPMM is pretty phenomenal and a ton of fun. So that's another positive thing, I guess. If you like that type of, just as a more general statement, like if you like those CODs, you'll probably like this game and enjoy it. Yeah, the obvious no SPMM in the main public match playlist. And, I was a little skeptical. I was like, is this really, is it too good to be true? And I've played for a little bit, and I got to say, yeah, it feels like there's no SPMM. And you get a variety. Not every game is going to be super free. Not every game is going to be super sweaty. Most games are a little bit in the middle. Most games have mostly like around average players, and then maybe a sweaty player or two, maybe a really bad player or two, and that's kind of how fucking averages work and how matchmaking should work, and be based on connection. I gotta say, it does feel like the connection is the focus. I usually get the central server, which is the server that's best for me. Occasionally, I will get the East server, which is like the second best one, and I swear I just got the West Coast server, which is the worst for me. I swear I just got it for like the first time in like 15 hours of gameplay tonight. So yeah, it feels like the matchmaking focus really is on the connection and not on, skill-based or not on engagement-based or any of that bullshit that we've been dealing with in other shooters that has plagued public matches and other shooters for the past, I don't even want to say how long. I don't even want to know. Too long. Yeah, not a thing in this game, and that feels incredibly refreshing. And it's been a lot of fun. Just playing the matches and having that variety. Like, it's crazy how different and how refreshing it is to have that variety of like players that you play against again. And, not seeing the same play styles, not seeing the same weapons, not seeing the same shit every time. Like, it's so refreshing, I gotta say. It's been very nice. So, honestly, there's some other... one more really good thing, the maps. For the most part, there's like one or two misses. I think the maps are superb so far. And yeah, I've been enjoying playing on like damn near all these maps quite a bit. So I have probably some other positive things to say as well, but we're already getting there in the video. So those are the main things that I wanted to praise. Now for things that I do think could be a bit better at the end of the video. The connection, I'm sure everybody's talked about this. The connection is not great right now. Yeah, the netcode's not great. It has some pretty heavy desync, and there's some pretty insane dying around walls. And I'm not saying like the usual FPS, you know, just barely get around the wall and dying. Like there's some excessive ones where you're like 10 feet behind and it's like super delayed, and it's not a wall that you can shoot through and you fucking die around it. Like there's some super delayed nonsense. There's some instances where you'll have a close range gunfight and it'll look like somebody's looking the complete opposite way, but they're actually shooting you in the back because on their screen they're behind you, and it's just totally fucked. There's situations like that. There's situations where I've seen clips on Reddit of people with like normal looking connections where their shots just don't count at all. They're getting hit markers and they're just not getting damage. I don't know what the hell's up with that. There's a lot of weird network issues in the game right now, and I would say that's the number one worst part about the game. That's the worst part about the game. That's the biggest turnoff right now. The other thing too is the hit reg. Well, I guess those kind of go hand in hand, but I'm not convinced it's always a network issue, but something, I don't know, something with the hit reg. Sometimes it feels phenomenal, and sometimes it feels like just the things the shots that should hit, they hit, and it's just normal. And then sometimes it just feels like you get a shit ton of ghost bullets, and it's really inconsistent to me. And it feels like it could use a little bit of work. So yeah, that is not ideal. Another thing, I'm not in love with all the abilities and stuff. I don't mind it because, again, it feels similar to Black Ops 4 where there's the characters and there's the abilities, but it's not, you know, I wouldn't classify this as a hero shooter per se. Like, again, it reminds me of Black Ops 4 where, like, the focus is on the movement, the focus is on the gunplay, the abilities and the stuff like that, and the ultimates, those, you know, are the second thing. Those are, I don't want to say like completely put to the side, but it's the secondary focus, right? It's not the primary thing. It's not like Overwatch where you know, that stuff is more of like the main thing, which is what I like. I prefer that. But that being said, some of the factions could use a little bit of rebalancing. Some of them are a bit annoying. And honestly, the one that I'm using in the video, this recon faction, I forget the name in game, but the one that has the recon goggles, and then you've got the scan the recon scan on the left bumper. The ultimate on this class is fucking insane. And then to add on to that, I think the normal like tactical ability is fucking insane too. And it needs a little bit of work. I think this class could definitely use a nerf. The passive is really fucking good too. The abilities in this class are just a little bit too strong. I think the tactical, an easy way to fix it, the tactical, your teammates should not be able to see it. The pings in the tactical should just be for the person using it. If the ult wants to show, you know, the fucking wall hacks for your teammates, that's whatever for the ult, because for an ult I think it's a little more justifiable. But for the tactical ability to do that, to broadcast it to your whole team, I think is a little excessive. So I think this character could use some work. I think some of the other ones could maybe use some tweaking as well. But those are the main things. Those are the main pros, cons. We're getting to the end of the video here. All that being said, pros and cons, everything combined, I've got to say I would give the game about like an 8 out of 10 right now. And if those issues do get worked on, it could go up to a 9. I'm having a lot of fun. Having a lot of fun with this game. I didn't think I'd want to play it as much as I am, but I've played it a shit ton after I like first started playing it, and I'm already, while doing this video, you know, thinking about going to bed and getting on tomorrow when I can, and grinding some more and getting some more weapons leveled up, and just playing some more of this game because it's just fun. I don't know, it's fun. It's a different experience. It feels fresh, but it's also weird because this game doesn't do too much new, you know? Like, if anything, this game is more about bringing it back to the past and bringing it back to, you know, shit in like older FPS games, and that older feel that's a little more fun, I think, than some of the stuff that we're getting with the new games, with the aggressive SBMM and EOMM and shit like that. And yeah, this feels like more of bringing it back to the old and, you know, rejecting a few of like the new ideas of what's in, you know, current FPS games and stuff like that. And I don't mind it. Even though this game's not like super innovative, I don't mind the, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's go back to what worked and let's just make a good game like that. That works. That works, and I'm having a lot of fun playing it. So yeah, works for me. I'm definitely going to be playing it more. I'll do some more videos on it, talking about specific guns and stuff like that, and be playing it more on stream if you want to check out that. What are you guys thinking about XDefiant? If you have tried it, let me know in the comments. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.